Hello and Namaste. Today I'm going to review a book, The Anthropologist by Ayşegül Savaş. I have recently finished the book, The Anthropologist by Ayşegül Savaş. And honestly, it is one of those rare novels that doesn't shout, but quietly lingers in your thoughts long after you have closed the final page. It's a slow, introspective read that invites you to sit with it, reflect and really observe, which makes sense because that's what the whole book is about. It's all about observation, belonging, and quiet rituals of daily life. The story centers on Asya, a Turkish-born filmmaker, and her husband Manu, who live in a foreign unnamed European city. They are both immigrants rooted in different homelands, but equally adrift, and they are trying to find their footing both physically and emotionally. Asya is working on a documentary project about people in a public park, and through this lens, the novel opens up in a very thoughtful exploration of how people create meaning, community, and identity. One of the things that really stood out to me is how this book, The Anthropologist, doesn't follow a traditional plot structure. Instead, it is told through short vignette-like chapters, almost like journal entries or field notes, which mirrors Asya's observational approach to the world. It's like she's an anthropologist herself, quietly studying the people around her, trying to understand their habits, their silences, their gestures. That structure isn't just stylistic, it's deeply thematic. It reflects the way we piece together meaning in our own lives, one fleeting moment at a time. Let's talk about the title, The Anthropologist. The title is so fitting, and not just because Asya is technically doing fieldwork for her documentary. The real anthropology happening here is emotional and personal. Asya and Manu are constantly studying their environment and the people in it, not out of academic curiosity, but as a way to figure out how they fit in. In a sense, all of us become anthropologists when we live in places where we don't quite belong to. We learn to observe, adapt, and quietly translate. The title also nods to how we sometimes try to make sense of our own lives by stepping back, becoming observers of ourselves, of our own lives. The book, The Anthropologist, is all about displacement, not just the literal kind that comes from living in a foreign country, but also the emotional kind that comes from not feeling fully rooted. Asya and Manu are both gently floating through the city, surrounded by the routines of others, trying to create their own. There's a lovely melancholic theme of in-betweenness, between countries, between languages, between homes. The book also explores the idea of domestic life as something both deeply ordinary and profoundly meaningful. There is a lot of emphasis on small rituals like making tea, walking through the park, exchanging pleasantries with neighbor. These small acts become ways of grounding oneself. The writer Savaş writes this moment with such care that they feel very sacred. There is rich symbolism throughout the book. The park where Asya films her documentary is a symbol of transient community. It is a shared public place where people gather but don't necessarily connect deeply. It mirrors Asya's own feeling of being surrounded by people and still feeling apart. Apartments and homes serve as a symbol of permanence, or you can also say lack of it. Asya and Manu are constantly searching for a place to live, which speaks to their deeper search for stability and identity. Even the act of filming in the book is symbolic. Asya is always watching, capturing, documenting, but rarely participating. It's a powerful metaphor for how she moves through life, like an observer, always slightly detached, trying to make sense of things from a distance. The writing style of Ayşegül Savaş is restrained, but so elegant. She doesn't over-explain or dramatize anything. The beauty is in the quiet. The character, especially Asya, is introspective and gentle. Manu feels like a counterpart, someone who is quietly lost but supportive. And then there are side characters like Ravi and Teresa, who each add layers to couples' experience of community and solitude. The Anthropologist is a novel that rewards patience. If you are looking for a high drama or twist, it's not that kind of book. But if you are someone who enjoys stories that reflect on the human condition with grace and subtlety, this will absolutely resonate. It reminded me a lot of authors like Teju Cole or Rachel Cox, the writers who understand the richness in everyday moments and the quiet ache of modern life. I would definitely recommend this to readers who have lived abroad or anyone who has ever felt like they are living just outside the edges of belonging. It's meditative, moving, and beautifully written. I would like to give it a strong 4 out of 5 stars.
The only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour.